There was an old local guy that was in here just for coffee before I came in, but I'm the first of the pilgrims up and in here. We got orange juice, café con leche, manzana verde, that's a green apple, and neapolitano is what they call it. It's a croissant with a delicious chocolate cream filling inside, and my water. I took a painkiller. We're ready to go. I'm going to fill up my water upstairs. We're going to hit the road. No rain yet this morning, and the forecast says it should be dry for, I don't know, until 11 or 12 at least. So fingers crossed. I'm going to eat this stuff. We're going to hit the road. It's going to be a long one. My leg hurts real bad, so I'm going to try. I'm going to try. Try. That's 65K to go. Out the door, walking at 6:30 in the morning. Joseph's right there too. We both got up, had our little breakfast, and now we move on. Today should be about 28K or so. That's 17 miles. So fingers crossed that my leg holds out. Sorry about blasting you with the light. And I don't know. We got some tourigrinos in front of us this morning. So not as alone as not as much room on the trail as I had yesterday, but that's fine. We'll talk to you later. Ciao. Hello. Eating my apple. 7 a.m. Sun's starting to come up, so I took the headlamp off. My leg's feeling good. I took a Nurofen this morning, and I think I mentioned it, but I bought some kinetic anti-inflammatory cream. So I put that on my leg this morning, and I can still feel it, but it's not as bad as it was yesterday. I just need to manage it a little bit better today and be careful because it's going to be a long day. And as I was walking, ran into a group. Joseph saved them from missing their turn, and we started chatting. Turns out they are from the Denver area. One lives 5 minutes from our house. The other lives in Morrison, which is up near, you wouldn't know, up near Red Rocks Amphitheater. So we were chatting about all this, that, and the other thing. And they just started yesterday. They got 5 days, doing the Saria to Santiago stretch. And 2 days ago, whatever it is now. But the point is that we were talking about how it's nice to watch the sunrise, and sometimes it's nice just to listen to the footsteps, and et cetera, et cetera. And the lady said, she's been so busy meeting people and talking to people that she really hasn't had, her Camino moment. And I didn't really have the heart to tell her that it sounds like she's setting herself up for disaster. I don't think you can have the Camino experience, the Camino moment. I should have asked what she meant. Because if she's looking for that transformative experience, I honestly don't think you can get that in a week. Or 5 days. But on the other hand, one of the most special things for me about the Camino was the relationships, the people, the community. And so in that way, if she's been meeting new people and talking to them, people from all over the world, then she has been having her Camino moment. So I didn't know whether to feel happy for her or sad for her without wanting to break some bad news. But maybe her Camino moment is coming, whatever flavor it decides to be. My shoes are a little bit loose. I want to pull over and tighten them, so I'll talk to you guys later. Ciao. Hola. Hola. Look at her face. I love that little face. It's such a good doggy. Oh, stretch it out. You can stretch it all the way out. Oh, it's a good dog. Good dog.
And everything. And they start saying, evacuate the place. No. But
About A week into the journey, I don't know what I do. Hometown. What would you tell me about it?
For example, my neighborhood I live, it's called.
All right, it's about 8 o'clock. Walking with a new friend, Luis from Medellin, Colombia. What do you think about today, huh?
Amazing.
Yeah.
We started earlier, so the path is so calm. There's not so much people around. The nature compared to yesterday, it's even better. It's farther away from the cities and the roads. So I'm fucking loving it so far.
That's right. Buen Camino. We're gonna keep rocking. Maybe today, 28K. We'll see. We'll see what happens. Okay. Ciao. Andiamo. Haha. Let me switch hands. Yeah. There we go. Yes. It is 8:30 in the morning. The early start has paid off. I just stopped for a cortado and a zumo de naranja, orange juice, and a little shot of coffee with a splash of milk and sugar. Luis, great guy. He made me want to go visit Colombia and Medellin. He said the city is going through this transformation, and it sounds absolutely fantastic. The country sounds really, really interesting, and he made me want to go there. Anyway, we talked for a while. He wanted to pull off and grab breakfast. I just wanted a coffee and to move on. As I said, it's 8:30 in the morning, and I only have 20K left to go until the stop. So we put like 8K under our feet already, which is good. The time goes by when you're chatting. I didn't really take any recordings. I don't really have any deep thoughts to process today. You know, I got up. I still feel like I'm ahead of the crowd. And if I'm not ahead of the crowd, then the crowd doesn't exist. It was a myth, a fantasy. I was expecting more groups like we saw that very first day coming out of Sarria. And it's entirely possible that they just sleep in and they're just starting to walk now from wherever they are. Joseph, my beer hunter friend from Austria, and I went out and had dinner last night. Well, let's talk about how we met up real quick. As a matter of fact, I'm going to pause. I'm going to put my poles away. I'm going to get my little tripod out because it makes it easier to do this. And I'll tell you a little story, okay? We'll see you then. Okay, so much better. So, if you'll remember from yesterday's video, my battery was dead. My power bank was empty of electricity. My phone hit 0% battery and died as I was in the middle of the city. Well, the middle of the town of Porto Marin. Luckily, I had written down the address of the albergue on a piece of paper so that I could make my way there. But I stopped at an albergue, not the one that I was staying at, but a different one, to ask where I could get a new charger, because I thought that was the problem. So I got a charger, stopped at a cafe, had a cerveza, cañón grande, see? And plugged it in so I could get just a little bit of charge, and it wasn't working out. Decided to make my way towards the albergue. I finally found it. It was kind of past the city, so I would not have I wouldn't have gone by it naturally. So I'm really glad I wrote down the address and some kind locals that I would stop and ask along the way where that address was, where the street was, pointed me in the right direction. So thank you, locals. We got a big truck coming by. So enjoy the scenery and the sounds, the dulcet tones of a big truck. I waved at him and he went beep. Okay. So I checked in. Here's one thing that I think is worth mentioning. And you've heard me complain about the other side of this before. But when I showed up, there was a handful of bags that had been brought there by a transport van. And there was some bicigrinos whose identity was betrayed by their spandex. And when I got there, it was 1:30. Reception didn't open until 2 o'clock. No problema. As you saw, there was a banderia. So I had a coffee and a snack, and I waited. And there were a few of us that were also waiting. And so when the receptionist finally indicated that it was time for people to start checking in, the bicigrinos and the peregrinos with their tiny bags, their day bags that grabbed their shipped bags, all stood up. The hospitalera motioned me over first. Okay. The universe was telling me, chill, Joe, everything's cool. Sometimes you're going to have the grumpy locals. Sometimes you're going to feel frustrated at competition for resources. But sometimes, maybe, people will see the status of an experienced true peregrino. I'm using that very generously because we know there's no true peregrino, but I'm saying somebody that has walked long distance with their bag and was limping in the door and was very happy to see that there was a place to sit down and have a drink. She gave me my bed first. Incredible. I was very happy about that. And it made me feel like, everything's cool. So I go and I put my sheets on the bed. These were real cotton sheets, linen sheets, and a pillowcase. And there was a real towel for the shower. I didn't have to use my camping towel. So I shake my bag out, I put my boots away, put my poles away, get the bed set up, get my stuff for my shower, took a shower, decided I wanted to fully wash all my laundry in machines with detergent. And so I did. Met the guy from the UK named Mark. We chatted. It was lovely. I hope I see him again. Another guy came up from Brazil. His name was Alex. So one Alex from Brazil has left and gone home. I met a new Alex from Brazil. He seemed like a great guy, and I'd love to talk to him more. Finished my laundry, folded it up, and decided, and you saw I was drinking a calimocho on the terrace, and the bartender downstairs asked to make sure that I brought the glass back down. I could take the glass upstairs, but she asked that I bring it back down. So, buenos dias, buen camino. So I brought it back down, and who do I see but Joseph sitting there having a beer. And it was only after, and you know, he said that he was gonna push on like 2 more hours, but he just wanted to stop and have a drink. And he saw me and we hugged. He was very happy to see me. I was very happy to see him. He decided to book there and stay. And then, you know, we went out and had dinner. And then went back, and it turns out Susanna from Germany was staying there also. And we had some glasses of wine and some tapas and a nice chat, friendly faces. We're all going into Santiago on Sunday. So it was kismet that Joseph saw me, and he was very happy to see me, and I'll explain why. The rain was going to start maybe, and it was a long day. He didn't exactly know where he was going, but he wanted to maybe go further, but didn't know where the next spot was going to be, etc., etc. He stopped in and he had 1 beer. And then he was thinking he would leave. But something told him to have another beer. And the waitress was really busy dealing with locals at the moment. And he kind of got ignored. And he said, no problem. I'm resting my feet. I'm going to continue to rest, and then I'll have my other beer. And he thought about leaving again, but he didn't. And that's when I came downstairs. If I had been 5 minutes later or 20 minutes sooner, or he had decided to not have that second beer, or the hospitalera had poured him his beer and he had drank it and moved on, if any of those things would have happened, he never would have saw me. That's not magical. It's coincidence, sure, but it's strange. And these things happen over and over and over. And maybe that's just a byproduct of making so many friends that, you're bound to find one sooner or later around the corner. Maybe that's it. But Joseph has been with me, if you'll remember, since day one. I met him in Roncesvalles after the Pilgrim's Mass at the end of the first day. There was an empty, and I think I told you this story. Went to dinner, had the Pilgrim dinner. Then I went to the Pilgrim's Mass just for the experience. Leaning into the experience, being open. And then I went to the cafe, not the cafe at the place I ate dinner, but there was a second cafe in Roncesvalles, and so I went to that one. And there was a bunch of tables, but there was also a countertop with 5 seats. And there was one seat open next to a guy that didn't particularly look too friendly. In Denver, I never would have sat down at a chair and just started talking to this guy. But I went up to him and I said, is someone sitting here? Can I sit here? He said, okay. And we just started talking. And then he told me the story about this incredible trip around the United States he had taken many years ago. A wild trip where he went so many places. And I think he did it with like almost no money. A very compelling and fun story. And we sat and had a couple drinks. And then 2 days later, leaving Pamplona in the dark, I see a guy, and you can watch this in the video. I see a guy wearing lederhosen and like a straw hat with a flower in it. And, buen camino, good morning. Where are you from? Blah, blah, blah. Austria. Okay. And where are you from? The United States. Oh, I did this trip in the United States. I didn't recognize him. He didn't recognize me. But the story was familiar. The story was familiar. And I said, I sat next to you on day one in Roncesvalles. And we've been friends ever since. I see him most days. There were periods of time where I felt isolated. And he was one of those people that if I didn't see him on a day, I felt isolated. If I didn't see Gilbert or Rufi, I felt isolated. And I'll show you this later. You may have seen it if you look at pictures of my backpack. There's a little wooden disc that's tied onto my backpack. Joseph gave that to me. He made 15. There are only 15. And it says Buen Camino. And there's a picture of a church and a picture of like mountains that's burned onto the chip of wood. And the church is the church from his village where he comes from in Austria. And the mountains are the mountain profile from his house. And he waited until 2.5 weeks into the Camino to see who the people that he was traveling with were. Those who kept pace, those who he vibed with and everything. There's only 15 of them. And I've got one. It's like the 15 rings. We're the Fellowship of the Rings. And so Norbert and Anna have them. And I have one. Joseph has one. The two guys from Norway have them. I think Marianne's got one. Susanna's got one. So I think Pepe has one. So it's really special. And then he suggested at dinner last night that I didn't notice this. The other side of the disc has nothing on it. And what he's going to do, and I now am also going to do it, is I'm going to stamp it with the stamp from the Santiago Cathedral. when we get there. I think that's going to be a really cool memento of the trip. In addition to, Compostela and the credencials and this vlog and all that. So I thought I'd share that story of meeting Joseph last night and just how the timing worked out. And then it made me think of the chip. And I don't know if I had shared that yet. So, yeah. Again, I'm really happy with the way the whole plan worked out. I didn't want to talk about it before I did it because I didn't know if I could do 40K to get into Ponferrada. And I paid for it yesterday. But so worth it. So worth it. And today, my leg feels pretty good. I should stop for like a longer stop and sit down and put another application of the anti-inflammatory cream on my leg. Maybe take another dose of that sweet, sweet Spanish medicine and just air out my feet, let my leg rest. I should, because, I've probably now got another 19K to go as I've been walking and talking for some time. I think that's it for now. I got a plan for today. Tomorrow is also going to be a similarly long day. About 30K to get to a town called La Bacola, which is, it's just the outskirts of Santiago, really. It's 10K from Santiago Cathedral, and it's quite a bit further than most people are going to stop. I think it's maybe another 10 or 12K past where a lot of other people typically stop and where this group is going to stop. And I'll tell you why I'm doing it is so that I can get up on Sunday and make a slow, thoughtful approach into Santiago. So only a 10K walk into Santiago. I can be there early. I can have my solo traveler moment, full circle. Wow, look at this bridge. I just approached it without really thinking about it. It's an old Roman bridge. I can have my quiet, introspective moment by myself as I walk into the Cathedral Plaza, and then I can watch the fellowship come in. It's going to be amazing. I'm coming down here so I can show you this bridge. Yeah, it's really cool. Ah, yeah. Beautiful, beautiful. If this were a hot day and I had tired feet, that seems like a great place to just sit and soak the feet. But it's a cool day, and my feet feel okay. And I don't want wet feet right now. I want to keep moving. So that's why bug flew in my mouth. That's why I'm going to have a longer day tomorrow. So I have a very short approach on Sunday. I can get in, I can have my moments, get my Compostela before the crowds come in. Go in and see the supposed remains of St. James and do whatever I'm going to do there. Find a table adjacent to the plaza or on the plaza. Watch all my friends come in and then celebrate. That's why I'm going to do a long day tomorrow. And yeah, so tomorrow's Saturday, long day. The day after is Sunday, arrive in Santiago. Can you believe it? And I'm still deciding what I'm going to do. Am I going to finish there? I think I should. I want to. Am I going to bus or am I going to walk? Partially depends on how my leg feels, but I've walked this far. I can walk 3 or 4 more days. I have the time. It was part of my rough schedule, so maybe I'll just do it. An epic ending to an epic journey seems fitting, so I think that's what I'll do. Anyway, I'll put the phone away for now, and I'm gonna bang out some miles. I'll check back in if anything interesting happens or there's a thought I want to share. All right, ciao, buen camino. Vamos a Santiago. the Walking Camino ad. Remember him from yesterday? I do. I'm so happy he's around me. A remarkably quiet morning. Maybe all those days where I was so shitty about somebody getting up early were misplaced. This is an excellent strategy to get some peace and quiet, especially in this quote-unquote very busy section between Sarria and Santiago. I haven't seen any tour groups yet, at least not on the trail. Or the groups of kids, school kids. I haven't seen it. I've seen them in the towns afterwards. But I think I'm ahead of them. Yeah. So maybe my frustration was misplaced with the people getting up early. Maybe what I should have been more frustrated with was how they went about doing it. It's not that they got up early. That doesn't bother me. It's how they got up and disturbed other people. But it is difficult to get up and make no noise. I felt like I was an absolute ninja this morning, but still I made just a couple little rustles. It's unavoidable, but we all do our own thing. We make our Camino, and if I disturbed anybody else, I am sorry, but now it is on them to manage that frustration in the same way that I did. I did what I could to be as considerate as possible in my early exits. And it has turned out to be a great decision. So, popping in, loving this path today. The weather is cooperating for now. It's been cool and lovely. Another lovely old bridge to cross. It's gonna be cool. I love this. Buenos días. Gracias. How many kms are left? 54. Only 54? 54 plus 75 to the coast. That's only 124. That's actually not bad. Now we look at this view. Stunning. I'm gonna take a couple pictures. Hola gato. Hola gato. Meow. Meow. Hola gato. Hola gato. Che bello, che bello. Meow. I think that might be the second cat that I've been able to pet on this whole thing. Usually the cats, they look, they relax, and then they run off. That was the first one that let me pet it. I'm more of a dog person. And I loved that dog this morning at the cafe, the bakery. It was a very cool spot. I would have loved to have spent more time there. But I had to get the move on. I didn't even really show you. I pounded a cortado and a slice of Santiago cake, which is a traditional almond cake with powdered sugar on it. Really delicious. And I sat at a table with Mazna, if you'll remember, she was the one that was holding the bee and feeding the bee, and we saved the bee's life together. So it was cool to run into her. When I went left to go to Samos, she went right to go to Sarria, and she is planning on doing a killer day today and a killer day tomorrow to arrive in Santiago tomorrow. So, best of luck, Mazna. I know you can do it. Okay, ciao. This town that I'm about to enter is Melide, and a lot of people stop here. But I am going another 14K-ish, maybe almost 16. I don't know, probably 16 from where I am now. So maybe another 4 hours. Right now it's a little after 9:30. So I figure 4 hours of walking, that's 1:30. 45 minutes or an hour of total break time, maybe 2:30. I roll into the albergue. Started at 7 to 2:30. 7.5 hour shift. That's not so bad. That's not so bad. I think Melide is definitely where I need to stop and sit, air out the feet, put the cream on the legs, painkiller, coffee, something more substantial than a slice of cake. Give myself some energy. I wonder if that's part of my problem. Part of the problem I had yesterday was that I not only had the pain in the leg and I was pushing and pushing, but I also zonked out. I hit that wall because the trend is that I drink a lot of coffee and juice and a lot of sugar, not a ton of carbs and protein in the midday. So I need to fix that. I guess I did have a Napolitano this morning. Chocolate, yes, but also there was some bread, so a little bit of carbs. More carbs. Let's just do that, Joe. Let's be smart. Maybe a spaghetti bolognese, huh? My Italian friends are crying right now. Their nonna is dying because of my bad accent. You put a cream sauce on it with the milk on a spaghetti. My nonna is dying. Okay, andiamo. This man is a beekeeper. He has his beekeeping uniform on, and he is smoking the bees. Don't smoke the bees, they're bad for your health. I'll be here all week. Vamos. Yeah, I did what I said I was gonna do. Stop in. Café con leche, tortillas y pan. I took my medicine and I got the physio cream, anti-inflammatory. Gonna rub that on my leg. I may even get a Fanta or an orange gas, which is very similar to a Fanta. We'll see how I feel after I eat this tortilla. But for now, ciao. This is Melide. This is where I stopped and had my snack down there. I see a group, a horde. The waddling masses of tiny backpacks. I don't know if those people are pilgrinos or not. They look like tourigrinos to me. But they can do what they want to do. But they're choking up the sidewalk. Maybe I should walk this way. Avoid them, huh? We're gonna do what we do. All right, ciao, andiamo. Let's see what we got. The tiniest of backpacks. Make a quick move to get around them, hopefully. Buenos días. I didn't need to come up here, but I wanted to. I wonder if I can go into the church, but also Seems like there's a great view over here of the city of Merida. Oh yeah. Look at that. Very nice. Very cool. Very cool. I know I'm busting through these last days. I get it. I have found a way to do away with the frustrations of the crowds. But I'm still pushing. Want to get to Santiago on Sunday with the crew. And we're right on track for it. So we're going to pop in and see if this church is open. And if not, we move along. No. Está cerrado. Lo siento. So we keep going. And I hope it's not poor taste. It's a municipal graveyard. And I'm not going to walk the whole thing, but they take this very seriously here. Family plots, mausoleums as it were, lots of flowers, remembrances, decor. It's very cool for what it is. No backpack, tiny backpack, tiny backpack, tiny backpack. $51. In we go. Beautiful horse. So, whoa, sorry about that. So as I was passing through Merida and I saw the swarm, the gaggle of people being led by a tour guide with their tiny little backpacks with their shells attached. And then right back there, some people, tiny little backpacks, shells attached. One didn't even have a backpack. And it got me thinking about a conversation I had with Joseph last night. And these sarcastic comments I've been making this entire time, okay? So let's get it out. Let's talk about it. Let's think about it. I don't think there's a right or wrong answer here, by the way. It's just to cut to the chase. I think it's complicated. There's a lot of flavors. And here come the tourigrinos, which is apt timing. Oh, it's not. It's a car. Let me get out of the car's way. Okay. So, what is pilgrimage? What makes a pilgrim? And I include myself in this broader conversation because I'm not a believer. And you know, from a technical perspective, I think a pilgrimage is a inward transformative journey, certainly an introspective one. And a lot, as with many things, the textbook definition or the Merriam-Webster definition may not accurately reflect the truth of the matter. So, pilgrimage. Does it require hard work? Does it require sacrifice? Maybe a good place to start is yesterday when Joseph and I went for dinner. There was a giant pile of suitcases in the lobby of, well, it was in the restaurant, really. Whatever, the bar area of the restaurant, of the lobby of the hotel. There was a giant pile of suitcases. And then partially through dinner, when we were eating anyway, a group of very young, I believe they were Irish kids, showed up. They must have been in middle school maybe, or maybe early years of high school. And most of them didn't have anything with them. And Joseph said that he saw them, pull up somewhere, 3 bus loads of them. And they all got off the bus and wandered around, and they had some sort of chaperones. I don't know if it was a school thing or a church thing or what. It's not the point. But the point is what they are doing pilgrimage. You've heard me talk about the busload of German tourists. That Joseph has seen this happen. Other people saw this happen. I didn't see this group, but busload, coach bus, and it would pull up to a town. And we saw this, I think, pre-Meseta, maybe even it was on the Meseta. And they would get off the bus, and they would wander through the town with their tiny backpacks and their shells, and they would collect their stamps and get a croissant and a coffee and take their pictures, and then get back on the bus at the end of town and then take off to the next place. Or you saw me watch tourigrinos, where a taxi would drop off people and then they'd go to wherever the picturesque location is where they wanted to take their picture to prove their pilgrimage. And maybe they got back on a taxi, maybe they finished the walk for the day. I don't know. It doesn't matter. I don't know. So the question is, what are they doing? Is it a pilgrimage? Is it just a bus tour? Is it bad? In the case of those Irish kids, maybe their parents put them up to it. Maybe it is a requirement for their church group, whatever. They probably didn't ask for this. Thought it might be fun, but I don't think any of them are mature enough to understand pilgrimage. Or, they're not even people yet. Why would they require a transformative journey? They don't need to transform. They are building themselves currently. And so when we think about in terms of being an influential journey, I said to Joseph, we can't be mad at those kids. They didn't make these choices for themselves, probably. They're being compelled by someone or something to do this. And maybe through this easy mode, little slice of the peregrino life, maybe it inspires one of them to come and do the walk, or many walks, or a longer walk than I have been on, and so, many of us who have been walking for weeks, we feel the culture change in Saria, and we think they're new, but the people in Burgos would say that too. The people that joined in Burgos would say that, and we that started in Saint Jean would feel that when people joined in Burgos, or Pamplona, or Burgos, or Astorga, or Leon, wherever it was. And surely the people that walked from Le Puy-France would feel it when all of us joined in Saint Jean. They had already done a full 800 kilometers before Saint Jean. And there are longer treks. So where is the line? What is the requirement? Let's cut to the absolute easiest mode. If I flew from Denver to Madrid and then switched planes and took a plane to Santiago and then hailed a taxi and made my way by taxi to the cathedral in Santiago, does that make me a pilgrim? Does that exclude me from being a pilgrim? I would say that's not a pilgrimage. Okay, so let's add a little bit more difficulty. Let's say I walked the last stage last 5K. Does that make me a pilgrim? No? Okay, so 100K, does that make me a pilgrim? Technically. But why the line? Especially when you can get on a bus and you just bus your way through and collect your stamps. Technically, you earn your Compostela. Are you a pilgrim? So this purity test, this pilgrim purity test that I've been referring to for many, many weeks, that has caused consternation and frustration between myself and others, we're arguing about categorization at this point. And there's There is no right answer. There is a technical answer. But even that changes. It changed this year. The rule used to be that you needed to walk. No, not even walk. You could bike. You could do it by horse. But there was a certain distance that you needed to accumulate while also collecting 2 stamps per day. And according to the rules, that means you earned your Compostela. Does that also make you a pilgrim? I don't know. But even that changed. This year now it's any 100K and you collect 2 stamps per day. And then you walk the last bit into Santiago, you earn your Compostela. So when it changes, we know that the line is moving. The line is blurry. The requirements are changing. But does that change the intent of pilgrimage? It's a very interesting question, and when we think about it in this way, it makes me wonder how we can be frustrated, because everybody's interpretation is different. Is it... Gracias, buen camino. So, somebody okay, yesterday, I was limping, and I was worried that today I would not be able to walk at all, and I would finally have to ruin my not ruin. I would have to finally not be able to meet my requirement of it's not even a requirement, my nice to have list. I wouldn't be able to check that box that said I walked every step. I didn't think I was going to be able to walk today, but here I am. But let's say I couldn't walk. If I did 32 days from France to Santiago and I took a bus one day, does that make me less of a pilgrim? What about 2 days? What about all the days? There is a line somewhere, but it is blurry for everybody, and I think it has to do with intent. Anyway, just thinking about these things as we are reaching our last kilometers to Santiago. Ciao. And also, just to add on and kind of tie up this internal dialogue that I've just had with myself. Let me know what you think, of course. If you're interested and you're watching, let me know what you think. But to me, it almost doesn't even matter if I am a true pilgrim, if this is a pilgrimage. Because the experiences over the last month have been incredible. I've used the word magical. I've used the word transformative. I'm convinced that there is an energy around us, between us, and a lot of us use different words to describe what we feel when we want to talk about this energy. Oh gosh, left or right, what do I do here? I'm going to finish my thought and then make my choice. Left or right? Let's look at the map. So, you are here. This is 1-9. This is 2-1. I want to look. Oh, complementario. Okay, so I'm going to go left. Complementario. So, whether or not it's a pilgrim, it doesn't matter. And when we talk about this energy, there's this magic, there's these coincidences, things have happened that I can't explain. I get the message that I need in the moment that I need it sometimes. It's a very strange thing. Has it changed my beliefs? No. Especially regarding formal religion and a personal God. Still don't. I'm not buying that shit. Y'all go ahead and drink that Kool-Aid. It's not for me. Mine is a lot more personal and spiritual and hard to describe. But we also talked about, I think we talked about this, I've talked about this with other pilgrims, is that if it is possible that over thousands of years and tens of millions of footsteps, that the energy between people can be transferred into a place, surely it has been along this trail. You think about, you know, the joy and the suffering and the happiness and the sadness. Look at these big, beautiful dogs. Are they going to bark at me? Hello, doggies. You gonna bark at me? Oh, you're wagging your tail. Don't bark at me. It's okay. Let me see your eyes. Pretty eyes. Oh, look at the pretty eye. Oh, you're so happy. Okay. I'm not gonna bother them. Beautiful. But, you know, if there's you know, processing grief and joy and happiness and celebration and misery and pain and suffering and uncertainty and all of it. And if it is possible that with every step from every pilgrim over thousands of years, that a little bit of that energy could be transferred to this place, and that it could hold a memory of all this power and energy, then surely, of all places in the world, this is one where it would be evident. And it seems evident to me. There is a feeling here. There is a magic. I can't describe it. Could never explain it. You would have to experience it for yourself, and your experience would be different than mine. Your experience will be flavored by the intent with which you open yourself to the experience and engage with the surroundings, the people. It's wild. So whether or not this is a pilgrimage in the way that I did it, or anybody else is doing it, whether or not I'm a true pilgrim, which I believe I am, I've certainly had an experience that was worth the time, worth the effort, worth the suffering, worth the joy. And I don't know. I'm glad that, you know, we're going to reach Santiago on Sunday, and then I've got, I think I'm going to walk to Finisterre. It seems appropriate and epic. So I would like to, we'll see if the leg holds up. Fingers crossed, folks. If not, then we'll see what happens. Maybe I'll take a bus and just chill out in Finisterre for a few days and watch other people come in and just sit by the beach or on the coast. I don't know if there's a beach there. At least not a nice one. So sit on the coast, take the quiet time to process the experience, and be ready to go home. So, all of that. Very cool, very complicated, very worth it. Buen camino. Good choice on the complementario. Usually, I think it is the right choice. For me. The eucalyptus? I can smell. Yeah, very cool. I can smell them. I wish you could smell them. It's like I'm walking in a vapor rub fog. Hola, gato. Hola, gato. Hola, gato. Hola. Hello, little kitten. Hello, kitten. Hello, kitten. Meow. 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 Hola, gato. I must continue. I must continue. Are you going to follow me? Are you going to follow me, kitten? Okay, let's walk. Let's walk together, kitten. Hola gato, hola gato. Today's cat day for me. How weird. There he is. Very strange. Very strange. You know me, I'm gonna take pictures. What is it of? Is it the lemon tree or those chickens? Or the baby lamb? Or the perro? No, it's the baby lamb. No, it's the perro. Is that a lemon that the perro's been playing with? It's a beautiful place. Buente. Ciao. Hola. Look, it's the Buente Fuente. The shin pain on the left side from tendonitis has returned, but I am determined to walk to my destination. If it takes me another 4 hours, I will limp my way in again. I'm stopping every once in a while to stretch it. I'm using a lot of that physio cream. I got this horde behind me. I can't let them show me up. That's my ego being stupid. But I'll be okay. Yeah. Okay. See, there it is. I got the bus. I got the shells. Our bus. Just stopped in at a Calimocho. Stretched the leg, massaged it. I am limping. It hurts, but I've got like, I don't know, 6 or 7K left. So even limping, going slow, it's max like 2 hours. I can do 2 hours. Even if the rain comes, I'll draw my pack cover, my raincoat. I'm gonna limp in. I'm determined. The place where I just had a drink, I saw a taxi pull up, and then a group of 4 get out with their little backpacks, blah, blah, blah. Have fun, folks. I'm doing this my way. The magical eucalyptus forests. It smells really nice. I didn't necessarily need another cortado coffee or ice cream sandwich. I did need a break. So I'm stretching my foot. I'm gonna rest it. I'm gonna take a break a little bit. I'm like 3K away. So that's an hour of moving slow. I think even less than 3K. I don't actually know. One more step. I'm in extreme pain, but I'm gonna do this. Maybe I should take another painkiller. Yeah, that's a smart way to go. Maybe the most aggressive pruning we've seen. I mean, that is just hacked off. And still, life persists. Life finds a way. I put on my raincoat and my rain cover on my pack because it looks dark there, and I am going very, very slowly. So by putting on my rain gear, I hope that I am saving everybody else from the rain. Because you know how that goes. Look at this landscape though. I wish I wasn't in so much pain. But I can take one more step, and then I can take one more step, and one more step. I will be there soon. It is like 2K away. So I'm moving at 2K an hour. It'll be an hour. Buen camino. That dog is not happy. I hear you, dog. I'm not happy either. My leg hurts, but I think I'm very close. So I think I'm close. I don't know. Whew. One step at a time. Each step is excruciating. And I was going down a pretty steep downhill backwards just to ease some of the stress on the tendon that is painful. And a peregrina came up and she said she had the same thing really, really bad in Leon. And she went to see a physiotherapist, you know, stretching and icing and anti-inflammatories and a rest day. And I'm thinking, I can't do a rest day. It would be, but here's the thing. What do I do? If I had to choose between Sunday arrival in Santiago or completing every step of the journey, what do I choose? I think if push came to shove, I would taxi ahead tomorrow. Maybe even walk a couple hours and then taxi ahead so I could arrive with my friends. That would be, I think, more important to me than checking the box of I walked every step. Of course it would be great, but we don't always get to have what's great. Sometimes we gotta make choices. I am going to limp my way to the albergue and see what happens. Tomorrow would also be another 20-mile day. Yikes. I'm gonna think about it. I'll let you know. I'm not gonna say that I walk the whole thing and not walk the whole thing. You guys will know what I do. So stay tuned. According to Google Maps, I'm like 1.8 kilometers away. And I seem to have a little bit more energy and it hurts a little less when I'm going uphill. So this is a slight incline, so I'm actually happy about it. I'm chugging along. I'm hoping I can wrap up in a half hour. It's like 2:15 right now. So the first part of the day went really, really well. The last half of the day has been a serious challenge and a lot of pain. So I'm gonna finish today strong. And I'm not going anywhere, I don't think, if I don't have to. Once I get to the albergue, I'm gonna ice my leg, chill my leg, massage, stretch, whatever I need to do. I want to walk tomorrow. I want to walk the whole thing. So we'll see. 1K left, 1K left. You know what? I remembered something else. I brought maybe like 8 pieces of KT tape. And so I remember Mike from the UK that was traveling with his son. He had the same thing as I have now. He learned how to tape it and he said it helped him quite a bit. So maybe tonight at the albergue, I get to unlock a new skill. Taping to manage tendonitis, shin splints. We're gonna find out everything. We're gonna find out. We'll see. I'm gonna try. Also, call me crazy, but does that look like Kevin Costner? Kinda. Like if he was young and a little bit Spanish and had a couple drinks, maybe? Yeah. I don't think it's Kevin Costner. I don't think it's supposed to be. but I see it in the face. Okay, I'm gonna take a picture of this guy. Kevo. What's up, Kevo? Oh, Arzua and Kevo. I made it. I made it. It's 2:35. I made it, guys. I walked. I limped. That was bad. It was really rough. Shit. Okay, let's check in. Do you hear that? That's the dickhead. That's the jerk. I hope he does not choose that bed, or that bed, or that bed, or that bed, or the one above me. Fingers crossed. This is the universe laughing at me for some reason. This is a habitación with 22, right? There's a bunch. We got a hallway back there, a hallway here. The rain is coming down. Someone's laundry is out there. Yeah, so table's guy right there. So bathrooms and showers back there. There's another thing. There's botas there. None of that's important. What is important is the bar here, and we are going to have a drink and eat some food. Okay. I just had a delicious pizza dinner and split a bottle of wine with my new buddy Mark from the UK.
How you doing?
Yeah, we had a great conversation. Yeah, I know. Put on your rain jacket.
Yeah.
Great for a conversation. Good pizza. We finished it. Finished the bottle of wine. Gonna go back to the albergue. Do the uploads for the night. We'll chat with you later. Ciao.